Good afternoon, the dude here, and another weather report for you. I think I'm done with my Facebook restrictions tonight, so I'll be able to post on Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers again on Facebook. But that's why you should all subscribe. And if you like, follow my personal Facebook because these restrictions are getting annoying. I'm going to make a second account, I think, and give admin authority to that account for weather watchers because I cannot continually be harassed by bizarre Facebook. So BC is pretty nice today. We do have some ongoing weather up in the Peace Country, up through just the other side of Mackenzie. As you can see, Mackenzie getting a little taste of it. Possibility of thunderstorms this afternoon there, as well as in southern BC. We did have some pretty good thunderstorms yesterday. Reba got this video yesterday. Reba grew up here in Wells, British Columbia, still has family here, and is a hilarious person. And she got this video in Falkland area yesterday when a very severe little cell came through. It wasn't severe warned, but it had big hail and it was pretty close to meeting what I would call the criteria for severe weather. Nonetheless, these storms were pretty scattered and pretty small yesterday and didn't affect a lot of the province despite being in many regions. But as that weather clears out, we're going to have probably some good skies for some excellent Northern Lights show that might be happening tonight. So keep your eye on auroraforecast.com or NOAA, National Oceanographic and Aerospace Agency's predictions. Today, I'm here to give you good news for a change. This is a good news only forecast for British Columbia. So we do have a few days of unsettled weather still coming into BC, and hey, I'm not going to talk about that much today. I mean, nothing significant precipitation-wise. Like, I don't see any slamming storms hitting us by any means. Definitely getting affected by that low. But what we're seeing here is, as we come into later this week, we got high pressure down the states developing off the shore where it should be generally, and it's funneling things up clockwise like high pressure does. And we got this low down here, and it's funneling things clockwise. And you often see this when there's moisture. This is the kind of thing that helps make a long line, a conveyor belt of moisture, what we call the thing that no one wants me to talk about because it's like crazy science, atmospheric rivers. Well, this is an atmospheric conveyor belt of warmth that's meeting us into the weekend. And we're not seeing huge changes in our weather yet. I hate when the phone rings. I'm not answering it. I never do. It was scammers twice today already. So that's my life, scammers. If whenever someone wants to talk to me on a dating site, they're probably a scammer. Whenever someone phones my house, they're probably a scammer. And I've just learned to look at the warmth in California. I've learned to look at the warmth down there in New Mexico and say to myself in Baja, like, wow, you know what? We could be on the precipice of seeing some of that warm weather establish itself down south. So what's got to be really exciting, starting around Saturday morning, temperatures will begin to rebound up by our friends in Yellowknife. You see northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, northern British Columbia, getting 10 to 20 degree weather in there. And that is going to be kind of where things sit for them for the coming little while. We got that low that's going to put some precipitation through at different times. And we, if there's anything that is significant, I will talk to you about it here. I just think that it's kind of more the same that we're getting for the next bunch of days, and we sort of know the pattern, and nothing's that surprising that's been going on. But when we start seeing this warmer weather moving into Alberta, moving into southern BC, that's a really good clue. And this is sort of, I mean, we're maybe a week or two late for what the GFS said for when the warm up might begin. However, this is pretty consistent with what the El Nino predictions have been, that a long, cool spring with a fairly abrupt change sometime late May, June to these warmer weather southerlies coming into BC, right? So definitely there was a forest fire yesterday near Pavilion. That's a little ways from Lillooet, halfway outside Lillooet, near the Fraser River, 97 highway. And there was evacuation alert for First Nations community there, so that's concerning. 33 fires already in British Columbia so far this year, and that's fairly typical because when the snow melts and things get dry, especially in the southern interior, we tend to have fuels on the forest floor that are ready to go, right? So once things begin to grow again in the spring, then that fire risk generally goes back down. So it's pretty, and then, you know what happens too down in these places in the south, everything's very dry already, and so fires go for a rip and they go for a run, but then once they kind of cool off, they don't have a lot of fuel in a lot of those places to burn up, right? So you look at Pavilion, it's a lot of grassland, shrublands, and sagebrush and things like that, things that burn pretty quickly, but then once things cool down at night, there wasn't, you know, substantial fuel holding heat. So, you know, I'll be surprised if that fire does much again, and that's generally the pattern that you can expect. So yeah, you see all across the prairies, warmer weather coming in. And once this sort of hiccup in the weather moves through next week, that low that has will be kind of playing with us, you'll see kind of an increasing sunshine, increasing high pressure, increasingly warm days into the weekend at the end of the month, looking very, very nice for British Columbia. This is all new according to ECMWF. 3 days ago, 2 days ago, if I checked the forecasts, they would have kept us still sitting more or less in the pattern we've been in. Now we're seeing some change. So the evidence is there, things are lining up properly, and now we can begin to predict a pattern change with some certainty, it seems like. And look at that warmth down in California. That will make a difference for us. And by Thursday and Friday next week, 10 to 20 degrees at times in places along the coastal British Columbia. So even you will see some of that warmer weather. You're going to enjoy it. If this is how things start to pan out and hold on, where larger highs out in the middle of the Pacific are putting warmer weather north, we get into that pattern, we could start to see, as these highs move closer inland, we could start to see warm weather coming into British Columbia. It is likely to be a rather abrupt change if this El Nino, if and when, and I think it's a when, it comes this year. So I'm Joey, Caribbean Weather Dude. That's your good news video for a change. I tried not to talk about anything too shitty this time. Please subscribe. I think I'm getting out of my Facebook restrictions tonight, but that's all the more reason why you should subscribe, because no one restricts me here. I just talk weather, and people say, good job, Joey. Okay, bye for now.